Chapter 1. The Dream Begins. Mia was a little girl with a big dream. From a very young age, she was fascinated by the magic of cooking. Every day, she watched cooking shows on TV and imagined herself in a big, shiny kitchen, creating delicious dishes that would make people happy. Mia lived in a small town with her parents and her older brother, Jake. Her family owned a small bakery where her mother baked bread, cakes, and cookies every day. Mia loved spending time in the bakery, watching her mother work. She was mesmerized by the way her mother skillfully mixed ingredients, kneaded dough, and decorated cakes. Mia's mother, Mrs. Thompson, noticed her daughter's keen interest and began teaching her the basics of baking. One sunny afternoon, as Mia helped her mother knead bread dough, she said, "Mom, I want to be a famous chef when I grow up. I want to have my own restaurant and cook for people from all over the world." Mrs. Thompson smiled warmly at Mia and replied, "That's a wonderful dream, Mia. Remember, being a chef requires hard work, patience, and creativity. But if you believe in yourself and keep practicing, you can achieve anything you set your mind to." Chapter 2. Mia's First Recipe. One Saturday morning, Mia woke up early, eager to try her hand at baking on her own. She found an old, worn-out cookbook in her mother's collection and flipped through its pages until she found a simple cookie recipe. She felt a mix of excitement and nervousness as she gathered the ingredients: flour, sugar, butter, eggs, and chocolate chips. Mia carefully measured the ingredients, remembering her mother's advice to be precise. She mixed the flour and sugar, then added the butter, which she had softened by leaving it out of the fridge for a while. She cracked the eggs one by one, making sure no shell pieces fell into the bowl. Finally, she stirred in the chocolate chips, watching them disappear into the dough. With a sense of accomplishment, Mia shaped the dough into small balls and placed them on a baking tray. She preheated the oven, just like she had seen her mother do countless times, and slid the tray inside. As she waited for the cookies to bake, she imagined the delicious aroma that would soon fill the kitchen. Chapter 3. The Cookie Catastrophe. After what seemed like an eternity, the timer beeped. Mia hurried to the oven and opened the door, but her excitement quickly turned to dismay. The cookies were burnt to a crisp. They were dark brown and smelled bitter. Mia felt tears welling up in her eyes. She had worked so hard, and now her cookies were ruined. Just then, her mother walked into the kitchen. Seeing Mia's distress, she knelt down and gave her daughter a comforting hug. "Oh, Mia, it's okay," Mrs. Thompson said gently. "Every great chef makes mistakes. It's all part of the learning process. The important thing is that you tried your best. Let's try again together." Chapter 4. The Second Attempt. Determined to succeed, Mia wiped her tears and took a deep breath. With her mother by her side, she started again. This time, Mrs. Thompson guided her through each step, explaining the importance of measuring accurately and setting the correct oven temperature. As they worked together, Mia felt her confidence returning. She mixed the ingredients carefully and shaped the dough into even balls. When the cookies were ready to go into the oven, Mia set the timer and kept a close watch. When the timer beeped, Mia opened the oven door with a mix of hope and apprehension. To her delight, the cookies were golden brown and smelled heavenly. She carefully placed them on a cooling rack, and once they were cool enough, she took a bite. The cookies were perfect crispy on the outside, chewy on the inside, and filled with gooey chocolate chips. Chapter 5. Sharing with Friends. The next day, Mia took a batch of her cookies to school to share with her friends. She was a bit nervous, but she hoped they would like them. During recess, she gathered her friends and handed out the cookies. One by one, they took a bite, and their faces lit up with smiles. "Mia, these are amazing," exclaimed her friend Lily. "You should make cookies for everyone." Encouraged by her friend's positive feedback, Mia felt a sense of pride and accomplishment. She realized that making others happy with her food was a wonderful feeling. From that day on, Mia was more determined than ever to pursue her dream of becoming a chef. Chapter 6. The School Cooking Contest. A few weeks later, Mia's teacher, Mrs. Parker, made an exciting announcement. "We are going to have a school-wide cooking contest. Each student can enter a dish of their choice, and the winner will get to cook their dish on the local TV show Little Chefs." Mia's heart skipped a beat. This was her chance to show her skills and take a step closer to her dream. She decided to enter the contest with her now famous chocolate chip cookies. She practiced baking them every day after school, tweaking the recipe to make it even better. Chapter 7. Practice Makes Perfect. Mia's kitchen turned into a cookie factory as she practiced tirelessly for the upcoming school cooking contest. Each evening, the room was filled with the sweet aroma of baking cookies. Despite her initial mistakes, she was determined not to give up. After class, Mia approached Chef Ramirez, the school's culinary instructor, for guidance. "Chef, I'm struggling with perfecting my cookies. Can you help me understand what I'm doing wrong?" Chef Ramirez smiled kindly. "Of course, Mia. Let's go over the process together." He showed her how to properly measure the ingredients, shape the cookies evenly, and set the correct baking time and temperature. "Precision is key, but so is patience," he explained. "Take your time with each step and don't rush. Baking is as much about the process as it is about the final product." With Chef Ramirez's help, Mia practiced again and again, improving each time. Her classmates also encouraged her, offering tips and support. They often stayed late after class, working together to perfect their techniques. The kitchen became a place of shared learning and camaraderie, filled with laughter and the delicious smells of their creations. Finally, after many attempts, Mia created a batch of perfect cookies. They were golden brown, crispy on the outside, chewy on the inside, and filled with gooey chocolate chips. She felt a great sense of accomplishment and realized that overcoming challenges made her a better chef. Chapter 8. The Big Day. The day of the contest finally arrived. Mia woke up early, feeling a mix of excitement and nervousness. She carefully packed all the ingredients and tools she would need into a basket. Her mother gave her a reassuring hug and said, "You've worked so hard for this, Mia. Just do your best and have fun." At school, the cafeteria was transformed into a bustling kitchen. Each student had a workstation with all the necessary equipment. The judges, a panel of local chefs and teachers, walked around, observing and tasting the dishes being prepared. Mia set up her station and began working on her cookies. She focused on every step, making sure everything was perfect. As she shaped the dough and placed it on the baking tray, she remembered her mother's words of encouragement. Chapter 9. The Judge's Decision. When the cookies were finally baked and cooled, Mia arranged them neatly on a plate and presented them to the judges. They took a bite, and she watched anxiously as they tasted her creation. After what felt like an eternity, the judges smiled and nodded in approval. Once all the dishes were tasted, the judges gathered to deliberate. Mia stood with her classmates, her heart pounding in her chest. Finally, the head judge stepped forward with a microphone. "We have tasted many wonderful dishes today, but one dish stood out for its perfect balance of flavors and texture. The winner of the school cooking contest is Mia Thompson with her delicious chocolate chip cookies." Mia's classmates cheered and clapped as she walked up to receive her prize. She felt a wave of joy and relief. Her hard work had paid off, and she couldn't wait to cook her cookies on the local TV show. Chapter 10. Cooking on TV. The day of Mia's TV appearance was one she would never forget. She arrived at the studio with her parents, feeling both excited and nervous. The host of Little Chefs, Mr. Collins, welcomed her warmly, and introduced her to the audience. "Mia, we've heard great things about your cookies. Can you show us how you make them?" Mr. Collins asked. Mia nodded and began demonstrating her recipe step by step. The cameras captured her every move as she mixed the ingredients, shaped the dough, and baked the cookies. The studio was filled with the delightful smell of freshly baked cookies, and the audience watched eagerly. When the cookies were ready, Mr. Collins took a bite and exclaimed, "These are fantastic, Mia. You have a real talent for baking. Keep following your dreams and you'll go far." Chapter 11. A New Challenge. After her TV appearance, Mia's popularity soared. She received letters of encouragement and praise from people all over the town. One day she received an invitation from a famous cooking school in the city. They had seen her on TV and wanted her to join their special cooking class for young chefs. Mia was thrilled. This was an incredible opportunity to learn from professional chefs and improve her skills. She eagerly accepted the invitation and began preparing for her first day at the cooking school. The night before she left, her family held a small celebration for her. They shared stories, laughter, and of course, Mia's delicious cookies. Chapter 12. The Cooking School. The cooking school was a bustling place filled with aspiring young chefs like Mia. The head chef, Chef Ramirez, welcomed the new students and gave them a tour of the school's state-of-the-art kitchen. Mia was in awe of the large ovens, shiny countertops, and rows of cooking utensils. Chef Ramirez explained that the students would learn a variety of recipes and cooking techniques. They would also have the chance to participate in cooking competitions and events. Mia felt excited and ready to learn everything she could. She quickly made friends with her classmates, including a kind girl named Lily and a competitive boy named James. They often discussed their dreams and shared tips with each other. Chapter 13. The Difficult Recipe. One day, Chef Ramirez announced that they would be learning to make a complex, multi-layered cake. The recipe required precision and patience, and Mia felt a bit intimidated. She had never made such a complicated dessert before. As she worked on the cake, Mia made several mistakes. The layers were uneven, and the frosting didn't look right. She felt frustrated and discouraged, but she remembered her mother's advice. "Keep trying, Mia." Determined, she sought guidance from Chef Ramirez and her classmates. They provided tips and encouragement, helping her improve with each attempt. Chapter 14. Overcoming Challenges. Mia's success with the multi-layered cake boosted her confidence. She continued to learn and grow, tackling more complex recipes with determination and enthusiasm. She experimented with different flavors and techniques, always eager to push her boundaries. One day, Chef Ramirez announced the school's annual cooking competition. The winner would receive a scholarship to a prestigious culinary academy. Mia knew this was a chance to take her skills to the next level, and she decided to enter the competition with her multi-layered cake recipe. As the competition approached, Mia spent every free moment practicing her cake. She refined the recipe, paying attention to every detail. Her friends and family continued to support her, tasting her creations and offering feedback. They cheered her on, reminding her how far she had come. Chapter 15. The School's Cooking Competition. The day of the competition arrived, and the school's kitchen buzzed with excitement. Each student had a workstation set up, and the air was filled with the sounds of chopping, mixing, and sizzling. The judges, a panel of esteemed chefs and food critics, walked around, observing the students and tasting their dishes. Mia set up her station and began working on her cake with determination and focus. She moved with confidence, her hands steady and precise. She could feel the supportive energy of her classmates and teachers, and it gave her strength. As she layered the cake and applied the frosting, she remembered Chef Ramirez's advice. Take your time and enjoy the process. She took a deep breath, allowing herself to savor each step. The kitchen was filled with the rich, sweet aroma of her cake, and she knew she was giving it her all. Chapter 16. Presentation and Judgment. When it was time to present her cake, Mia walked up to the judges with a sense of pride. She explained her inspiration and the effort she had put into perfecting the recipe. The judges took a bite, and Mia watched anxiously as they tasted her creation. The judges deliberated for what felt like an eternity. They tasted and retasted each dish, discussing the strengths and weaknesses. Mia stood with her friends, her heart pounding in her chest. Finally, the head judge stepped forward with a microphone. "We have tasted many wonderful dishes today, but one dish stood out for its perfect balance of flavors and texture. The winner of the school cooking contest is Mia Thompson with her multi-layered cake." Mia's classmates cheered and clapped as she walked up to receive her prize. She felt a wave of joy and relief. Her hard work had paid off, and she was awarded the scholarship to the prestigious Culinary Academy. Chapter 17. Preparing for the Next Step. With her scholarship secured, Mia began to prepare for her studies at the Culinary Academy. She continued practicing and perfecting her skills, always striving to learn more. Her family and friends were incredibly proud of her achievements and supported her every step of the way. Mia also took the time to mentor some of the younger students at her current cooking school, sharing her experiences and lessons learned. She found joy in helping others grow and succeed, just as she had been helped along the way. Chapter 18. New Ventures and Success. As Mia's kitchen in full swing, Mia began to explore new ways to share her love for cooking. She had always dreamed of reaching a broader audience and decided to use her success as a platform for new ventures. One idea that had been on her mind was starting a cooking show that would bring her kitchen into homes far beyond her town. She set up meetings with producers and discussed her vision for the show. She wanted it to be more than just a cooking demonstration. She wanted it to be a blend of storytelling, education, and entertainment. The show would feature recipes from her restaurant, but also offer tips and insights into the culinary world. After months of planning, the pilot episode of Mia's culinary journey was filmed. The studio was set up to look like her restaurant, with the same warm, inviting atmosphere that had become her trademark. Mia prepared a selection of dishes that showcased her signature style and shared stories about the inspirations behind each recipe. The filming process was both exciting and challenging. Mia had to adapt to the camera, maintain her composure, and ensure that each dish was presented perfectly. Despite the pressure, she enjoyed the opportunity to connect with viewers and share her passion for cooking. Chapter 19. The Review. The morning after the premiere of Mia's culinary journey, Mia was filled with both excitement and anxiety. The reviews began to roll in, and as she read through them, her heart raced with anticipation. The first review she came across was from a prominent food critic, who praised Mia's show for its engaging format and high production quality. The critic described the episodes as a delightful mix of culinary artistry and heartfelt storytelling. Mia's recipes were lauded for their creativity and flavor, and her presentation was noted for its warmth and authenticity. Another review highlighted the educational aspect of the show, appreciating how Mia took the time to explain cooking techniques and share tips. The critic remarked that Mia's ability to break down complex techniques into easy-to-follow steps made the show accessible to viewers of all skill levels. As Mia continued to read the reviews, she was overjoyed to see such positive feedback. The show was described as inspirational and refreshing, and many reviews commended Mia for her genuine passion and dedication to her craft. The success of the show also translated into increased viewership and a surge in restaurant reservations. The wave of positive reviews bolstered Mia's confidence and motivated her to continue creating content that resonated with her audience. She received countless messages from viewers who had been inspired by the show and were eager to try her recipes at home. Chapter 20. Passing the Torch. As Mia's success continued to grow, she began to reflect on her journey and the impact she wanted to make. She realized that part of her legacy would involve nurturing and mentoring the next generation of chefs. To this end, she established a culinary mentorship program at her restaurant. The program aimed to support aspiring chefs by providing them with practical experience, guidance, and encouragement. Mia personally selected candidates who demonstrated a passion for cooking and a willingness to learn. The selected mentees were given the opportunity to work alongside Mia and her team, gaining valuable insights and hands-on experience in a professional kitchen. One of the first mentees was a young woman named Emma, whose enthusiasm and talent impressed Mia from the start. Emma had been inspired by Mia's story and was eager to follow in her footsteps. Mia took Emma under her wing, teaching her the nuances of culinary techniques and the importance of creativity in cooking. During Emma's time at the restaurant, Mia shared not only her technical knowledge, but also her philosophy about cooking and running a successful business. They spent long hours experimenting with new dishes, discussing menu ideas, and refining cooking techniques. Emma quickly absorbed Mia's lessons and began to develop her own style. When Emma completed the mentorship program, Mia was proud to offer her a position as a junior chef at Mia's kitchen. Emma's growth and dedication were evident, and Mia was thrilled to see her transition from a student to a contributing member of the team. Mia's mentorship program proved to be a valuable addition to her restaurant, creating a positive impact on both the mentees and the team. By sharing her knowledge and experience, Mia ensured that her legacy would extend beyond her own achievements and inspire future chefs. As Mia looked around her bustling restaurant, with Emma and other young chefs working diligently, she felt a profound sense of fulfillment. She had come full circle, from a young girl with a dream to a successful chef and mentor. Her journey had been marked by challenges and triumphs, and she had learned that true success lay not just in personal accomplishments, but in helping others achieve their own dreams. With her mentorship program thriving and her restaurant continuing to flourish, Mia embraced each day with renewed enthusiasm. She knew that her story would inspire others, and she looked forward to the many new chapters that lay ahead.